So another thing regarding this case against Arik Mubarak Sharon, I can't find, and I can't find this a person registered in the bar, Sharon Ezer, in the lawyer's bar. Anyway, I think again, I'm giving my theory, he's anti-Zionist, Muslim, cooperating with my adopted Muslim brother in a cult of anti-Zionist. It's as if it's Chabad, but it's not a real Chabad, because Chabad knows how to run books. Books is an invention, a British invention. I'm British, my father is British, he died. Accountant, he's an accountant, which is also very fishy. Anyway, my mom is Danish. They came here, the Zionists, they came to volunteer and help in Israel. The mom family from the guardians of Queen Margaret first, they helped out, the family helped out to save Jews in the Second World War. A lot of them died, a lot of them died. And she came to Israel she met my father, who was a Jew, an accountant, and so on and so forth. And he had some expedition to check the situation. It was the 60s, 50s, 60s. He came to Israel when he was a kid in Bnei Akiva, and then he got in, he's really excelled in the accounting and got very good results. And they had some expedition to India to see what are the financial prospects after the departure of colonialism. He was completely shocked. But anyway, that was his expedition through the Sahara and jeeps and stuff like that. He was a really daredevil. He was a small, he's Jewish. And then they made Aliyah in 67. He wanted to, defend Israel and join the army. He served till the age of 53. And he was a very small, she was 172, 73. He was her size. She was Danish. So, and I'm British as well. I have liberal ideas. I believe in accounting, in order, in the right of women to exist. And this Arik Mubarak doesn't believe in the right of women to exist. He killed my mother. He's also signed on a death certificate, and he organized all kinds of other certificates on me, which I didn't know. A will that my brothers, who are completely, this adopted Muslim, will do a trust on me, which is, I mean, it's okay. A trust, I don't mind if a person is educated and knows how to run books and is not a gambler like my Muslim brother, who is in that cult. Or the younger brother, which I did his degree, I did his, in 4 hours, I finished his seminar work, I don't mind, but they're not educated, they don't know, they never studied. A trust is supposed to be a good framework to, enlarge and preserve money. But anyway, I was completely shocked when I saw that will. My mom never deposited it. So Arik made an ongoing, he used another, it's a very rare term. He's a big colleague of the Muslim brother. And he said, okay, now that I want to sell her house while she's still alive and still kicking, and we haven't poisoned her completely. Just sign her on an ongoing power of attorney. She was already mute, and so I can sell her, finish off, selling her house. And he admitted in court that she died. He wasn't able to do it because she died. Now, to do an ongoing power of attorney is not to expel a person from his house and sell it. That's not the meaning of it. You have to run books, they tell what's going on to the general guardianship, you have to give report, you have to run, the books that are the accounting books. But you could see I showed it. You could see that I show it again. These are just they encourage them to steal from the bank. That's why I'm suing the CEO of a Bank. I'll show it again. It's very important. It's in larger because I can't see the share. Share. I have it in the appendixes. This is the law case itself. Don't write there. I think I already, okay. Okay, I just show the bank. I'm saving this. It's supposed to be, it's David 12. Okay. I'm getting death threats. Muslims are here, broke my legs. Hezbollah was here. Crazy. Hezbollah put drones over my house. He himself admits that he has a problem with the IDF. He says as a באחת ההזדמנויות בין כשלנו של הישביה בנוכחותו באחד דיון כי יש בבית חבר של החייל שחזר מעזה וכי חוששת שהוא יתקע לאחי הכדור בראש. Yeah, I mean he sent my brother to shout and try to hit me. And you have a guy that came back from a soldier that came back from Gaza. What do you think? He didn't, sleep enough. He might wake up and, this other one was shouting like crazy. And I asked the police to, help me out and localize my phone so they can take him away. I was frightened or the life of my, he's supposed to have a brother or something like that. Okay, anyway. But he has a lot of stuff that is against the army, against Israel, really strange. Now you can see here that my mom was poisoned or stuff like that, but she was mute and a neuromotor disease. And here you can see while she's mute and motor behind my back and everyone's back, he sent them to Mr. Agam, Shlomo Agam, in Bat Yam. Now, this Arik has a lot of connections. He has a strange death happened in King George 80 in Tel Aviv, just next to my Muslim brother's office for real estate, very close. And this Arik took over the office. I don't know where he came from. He looks like an East Jerusalem guy that, I mean, so he operated him. I mean, the Muslim adopted guy is on alcohol for many years. He hasn't got brain. He wouldn't have come up with this thing of ongoing power of attorney. It's a very, very rare thing. But he filled it up. He got instructions. He filled it up to his mother, so you can expect you can sell her house while she's still alive. My mom was completely shocked. She said, "They're coming to me. They tell me that they lost all their money and they need money." What she's So we need to sell the house. They got so much money during their lives. So much, something like 20 million shekels. So much money. Well, how did you lose it? They're gamblers. You want to make a trust on me. Now you can see, even before January, also before, my mom is neuromotor disease, can't move. Almost every day, you can see a Bankat. You can see, they were just moving money out. They were moving money out. Here you can see she hasn't got legs. 6,000 shekels from that's why I'm suing the CEO. I don't know, it's my brother's. Tell me who it is. Give me who it is. Here, there's 8,000 shekels in January. She has no legs. Why a person in an old age home needs so much money? A lot of stuff that was taken out, but it could be also buying of shares that she didn't do, This bank did, And that's what I'm saying. The CEO of her bank, what's going on? Suddenly the woman is dying and you're buying with trading commissions and stuff like that of foreign exchange. I mean, it's like they're ripping her off. And here you can see again, I'm saying this is the bankers who was walking around with a credit or something that you could take out from her bank. She hasn't got legs. Okay. Again, a lot of stuff that's going out of her account. Again, this is a sniffomat. Actually, did all the sniffomat here. It moves. Once I do a copy paste, it moves. But anyway. But it's all these cars where she hasn't got legs. Okay, she had a hip replacement, can move. Here again, Caspomat, Sniffomat. Someone is stealing from her bank, taking out, to buy. Very active portfolio for someone. My father left a very solid, it's at 2 months on every share, 2 months to investigate and to research it and purchase the share without moving it, long-term investment, what is known, in America, long-term investment. You have trading going on here in the bank, unbelievable. Again, I don't know why is this a Sniffomat 4,000. Okay, I think I did I didn't get these papers, by the way. I had to spend half a year locating these papers because Arik didn't show them to me. And he didn't show the power of attorney in 2023. So the thing is, also apparently, because I made a restriction order that they won't go out of the country. So apparently, his friend of the blonde one, they already purchased oligarchs very expensive tickets to go abroad. So this guy he became a head of the committee, which is very strange because the other head of the committee gave me a lawyer and helped me out to close the gates. And you have Muslims going on here. So for 15 years, this Orian Mandler he looks like an AIDS plague walking around, full of tattoos, full of just inherited money, or takes from his mom money, never worked a penny for his life, just they had an old age home, which he took over and run it and sold it with his brother, and just, never worked a penny for his life. But he's anyway, so he declared falsely to court that all this kidnapping that is going on me, to Nukhbot, because Muslims are trying to take me to medical negligence. And he says, it's all, many years it's going on. And, and he opened up or he sabotaged gates. And I said, look, I can see that people are sabotaging gates here. You have to give the police. We are in war and it's Muslims. They're sabotaging gates. You have to give them the cameras. He now, the head of the committee and the head of the committee died. So you're now in charge. Give the police the videos of what happened. You cannot, just go on and break gates here. And I can see them. I can see, and for 15 years, he and the blonde are walking around in Muslim countries with their foreign passports, Muslim countries that we didn't have any peace negotiations with. What did they do? They went in oligarchs, took over, paid them a lot of money. We are surfing. This, he's a midget, that Orian Mandler. He's a Romanian midget. full of tattoos, as if, someone is trying to infect him with the AIDS. 15 years, they're walking around with foreign passports. Now, the neighbors tell me you don't know, believe which weapons were getting here from this Orian. So what the fuck were he started to deal with weapons with Indonesia? What the hell is going on with this midget? I mean, and I know him because I did when I, after being in Riflery 05, they didn't have a vacancy for officer. So I got the sports. It's police. It was it used to be like a police, policia militia, police and military. And I was roughly 05. So I came back, and then I found him. He didn't. I don't know how the hell he got into sports. Anyway, but it's because everyone wanted to be a fighter. But you had these people who could go and do the test or get recruited to sports. I mean, he's a midget, but good for Tzahal for giving him a chance. I'm not tall either. He's I'm 160. He's my tall. He's tall, my height. And I got to really, women were getting really high positions there, to deal with artillery and stuff like that. And I got the chance to, do navigations with one of them, and we set a record in Wingate. But he just came into the army. He didn't manage to. It's usually you had a lower profile. You weren't riflery if you got into a sport or something like that. You're not really to be a sport instructor. You didn't really have the ability, or you were could have been a real sports person, a real sports person, and then they would be able enable you, to also go out and do your practices in swimming or stuff like that. But anyway, he was there without riflery or nothing. I don't know. No one knew him. Don't know how he even got past the tests. I don't know how he managed, but he managed, to mingle with a paratrooper there. Was very nice. He was really, really liked him. We called him Charlie. He was nice, and I think he recruited him to his. I don't know, but he got there to the paratroopers. Maybe it was, don't know. So he says that the welfare. He said to the court, he didn't say, I am opening the gate, I'm sabotaging the gate. He says, oh, she had many, with my Muslim brother tried to all the time take me to all kinds of hospitalizations where with medical negligence to take off my kidney, both of them. Very, very strange. Very, very strange. Or, full men of Soviets and like Pavel of Paris Hilton, with, very, without a lawyer or, a brain scan, just on my dialect, because I'm British. And, they tried to rape them, really awful stuff, awful stuff. And he says, oh, yeah, it's the welfare, which never have I seen the welfare here. Never. I'm dying at the welfare. So he falsified to the court, a document that he's involved. He's involved of sabotaging the gates and he didn't say I'm involved. He said the welfare is the problem with the gates in the village. Unbelievable. The welfare was never here. I mean, but now where we're in emails because everything is bombarded. But 15 years, these guys go and they managed to go to Hawaii. I mean, let's face it, Obama, I think he comes from Hawaii. He never really prosecuted all these rich men, privileged rich men who did the subprime, did he? He never put them in jail, did he? They were crooked and really stole money. and he went to celebrate there in an oligarch vacation. While the war was started again, people, was sitting in shelters and stuff like that. Orian and these abandoning their kids, abandoning Orian and their half brother, who's a blonde, big, tall, and the half brother of mine. And what are you encouraging? And this Oriana said, close the gates. People are intruding. People are attacking me at home. Close the gates. I have 4 people who shouldn't be here. They don't live here. And, they're opening at the copy coin. And Mark Baum is the other one that took over an office of my father. But you have Kobe Cohen, you have Ronen Freund, you have my 2 brothers, which are trying to hit me in the order of this cult thing. Anyway, I'm going to do some physiotherapy. My knee is killing me. Just, all these injuries that happened here. And I hope all the Zionists are safe and sound. His name is Orian Mandler. Unbelievable. And he doesn't like my dialect when I tell him to close the gates. Close the gates. Look, I know I have all this medical negligence really ripped I had the stroke for a year. But what? Because I had a stroke and you don't like my dialect, doesn't like. And lo everything mashallah. I was going around for half a year speaking very nicely to him, very, very nicely. Oh, what about the weather? What about the thing? What the fuck is going on with the gates, mister? Why, he's also Taliban. Also Taliban. 15 years, they made him Muslim. 15 years, you're walking over, what do you think? They don't want to make you Muslim? You have vacations in Muslim countries? You think they're not trying to I wake up in the morning, jihad. He's employing someone called jihad in the morning. And who signs the certificates? The employer is supposed to sign the certificate of all these Muslims that are going on here, walking around here, working for you and sabotaging the gates and giving coke. I mean, the last time I saw his wife, a gate was open with a drug dealer going to a person who's AA, who was, let's face it, in Miami, not in Miami, but he was a loan shark, okay, in the USA. It's a criminal, a loan shark. They have banks, okay, but he might have, 50 years ago served in their army, and he might have been an officer, but he became AA, he became alcoholist, and you're not longer capable to work in the army. And this guy is just, inviting all kinds of drug dealers or whatever, Muslims, around the Orian's house, with Tesla in a I mean, these people, it's not racism, but I know, I worked there. I worked in the Magnometers. I also got a scholarship, to work in the theater in kids and in Jaffa. And the Arab that was working with me, he was trying to hit, he was going around it like a pedophile. I mean, it's a pedophile. He was 21, 22, and he was hitting, he was starting his relationship with 12 years old girls. Drove me nuts. And they're touching, drove me nuts. This school, everyone is hugging like stupid people. So glad the plane came where you don't touch. Really frightening. And so he was from the University of Tel Aviv, this Muslim Arab. They have different contexts. The Bedouins you can marry for. If he is, starting his negotiation, he can take this 16-year-old and marry her. That very strange. They don't believe in the succession of women, inheritance rights or nothing. Never have they had a queen, Margaret or Elizabeth. They never. Okay, they don't know the term. So this Mandler is around his house, a drug dealer, which he doesn't mind saying, I'm fasting. Really? What the fuck are you doing here with a Tesla and fasting? You're not, next to the just when I was talking about with his daughter, Easy, who's about 16 years old. And this guy says, and I'm telling you, they have camps full of Muslims and Soviets. They just, they don't. The last news was in a boarding school like that. They put a Chechny who was in charge, and he was hitting on in Israel in a special education. Okay, special education, a boarding school. He buried the Jew. He buried the girl in the end. The 18-year-old Jew. I don't know, they were playing some game or, I mean, you have a thing like that, a person that you really rely on, you can have a spiritual, a spiritual Indian thing where you feel the earth, but you give them a snorkel. You give her a snorkel and everything. He has a double passport. Has a double passport, and the girl is dead. Dead. You can see it on TV. I mean, he has no idea. No idea. He thinks because I have a big car. I'm a midget. I have a big car. I have a lot of keys. Yeah. What's going to be with your girls? And you have like a ballet dancer wife. Unbelievable. Okay, I'm going to do my physiotherapy.